Hello everyone, this is the RPG Machine. My name is Elder Araújo. This is the first issue of the RPG Machine news. Usually we do this in Portuguese, but in order to reach a wider audience, since the contents of this program are the interest beyond the Portuguese language, we'll probably do in a broken English that we're not ashamed of. A fair warning, I don't endorse personally AI for creative purposes. I mean, commercially creative purposes, but I do think it's very important to discuss it since it's unavoidable and it is already a part of our lives. And I think it's healthier to discuss it without any taboos, without any unnecessary criticism, but in a constructive way, trying to find out what good or less good comes from it, and only you, the watcher, will be able to discern by yourself if it is bad or good. It's not my place to tell you what you think about it, but I think it's my place to bring interesting questions. And right now, I'll bring you my guest, Rui Anselmo. Hi, Rui.
Hello everyone. Hello, Elder. How are you today, my friend?
Well, I could be playing my Xbox right now, but instead I
You are
decided
interviewing me.
to interview you. So it's okay. It could be worse. It could be better. I don't know. So I bring you Rui Anselmo. Is a friend of mine, fellow RPG enthusiast and designer. He's here, despite being my friend. He's here as an interview, so I won't spare him with with some hardballs that I've planned here. So, Rui Anselmo, you had now this project of yours, this game of yours that you have done in a very interesting, if innovative way. And we're talking about Dawnfall, the Aitechnocene. Am I spelling it correctly?
That is exactly correct, my friend.
Okay. Tell us a bit about this game of yours.
This is a post-apocalyptic diceless tabletop RPG. This is being a post-apocalyptic game. The world, as we know it, has ended, and you are playing one of the descendants of the survivors of the apocalypse. The difference is that machines are everywhere. Hence the Aitechnocene, the age of the technology, of the artificial intelligence technology. So machines are everywhere, not as chrome as in movies, not as rusty as Mad Max, but somewhere in between. That's the basic game. It has several things that puts it apart other games, but to summarize it, it's just like that. It's the post-apocalyptic RPG.
So I was showing, while you were describing your own game, I was showing this quick start edition that you did, and I have the honor to have actually a physical version as well. So you did this quick start edition, this free. So it's actually free. People can try it out. So does it resemble the final product? It will be way different, or just be a bigger version of this document?
Well, the final document, the final PDF with the game, the core book will be exactly like that. The cover will be exactly like this, like you are showing. The layout will be like that, as is shown. Of course, the Quick Start Edition has a much more abbreviated version of the rules. It has a quick adventure that you could play in an afternoon with 4 pre-generated characters, so that you could start playing right away. But the final game will be close to 200 pages, full of illustrations to show you what I think the world of Aitechnocene is. But yeah, answering your question, it will be very, very much like the quick start edition. That was on purpose. I wanted to show people how the game would look like.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a good way, to be as transparent as possible, at least to people get an honest preview of what the final game would be. So you started this trademark of yours. This is 7 Sagas, one man creative team that makes engaging TTRPGs. Why 7 Sagas? Do you plan to do like 7 game lines or 7 game universes, or is just like a phonetic, funny name that you came up with?
This is actually an homage to my hometown, to Lisbon. Lisbon is the city of the 7 hills.
Yes.
So I chose the 7 Sagas because of that. Sagas because my games, at least I hope this will be the start of a game line. So my games are like sagas, like stories that you tell around the campfire, or the campfires of the 21st century, around the table with your friends. And 7 because of the city, because of Lisbon. I don't think I have 7 planned universes. I have a couple of more behind Dawnfall, but I have no idea if they are 7 or not. I'm so sorry, but yeah, it's an homage to Lisbon.
Tell us about your game design, how Downfall is different from Mutant Year Zero or Apocalypse World. How it is different?
Well, mechanically speaking, is that what you're asking?
Let's start with the mechanics. How it is different from those games?
Okay, so to start off, Dawnfall is a diceless game. I chose to make it a diceless game because it's a joke that I've been telling for quite a few years now. The dice hate me and they want me dead. So I wanted to design a game that would be forgiving for me to play. A cool thing about the diceless aspect of it is that you don't take the randomness of it, because you never know what the other guy is playing. So to summarize the rules, you have your skills that range from 1 to 5 at character generation. They can go higher with experience. And you have an effort pool, which is something that which is a pool of points that you use to power up your actions. And the skills are the maximum amount of points that you can spend at a given turn for an action. So let's say that if you are stealthily trying to avoid the guards, and you have 3 points in your stealth, then you can spend up to 3 points in a task to stealthily avoid the guard. And the game master, he doesn't have a pool of points, but he also will put some points on the table as well, ranging. I'm so sorry. The points that the game master will put on the table will depend on the difficulty of the task that the player is trying to do. So in the example of the character that is trying to pass a guard, if the guard is, let's say, drowsy or sleepy, then the difficulty might be 1 or 2, or if the guard is attent and alert, the difficulty might be 3 or 4. So this will depend on the game narrative and the player's choices and what the game master think is fair for the action. So each of the players, the player doing the action and the game master, they pick one counter with the number they are bidding, and they show it at the same time. So this is a blind bidding aspect of the game. They show it at the same time, and if the player has more than the game master, then he succeeds. What he's trying to do is happens. And if they have the same points, the player can succeed at a cost. So he does it, but something bad happens. And if he has less points, then he fails. There are some permutations to this. So, for example, you can take stress points instead of failing, and there are some more advanced rules in the core book that I've not put in the quick start edition.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dawnfall plays just like that. So you have your points, and you bid against the game master, and whoever has the highest wins.
What there was in Mutant Year Zero or Apocalypse World that you think that Dawnfall does better? I'm not saying it will beat it in every way, because every game is different, of course, even if they
Mhm.
share similar aesthetics, values, or assumptions. But there might be something in this game that you thought, I really wanted a game about this or that, but in that way, with that twist, with that mechanic. What do you think it does better than those games?
Well, that's a rather difficult question to answer, mainly
Okay.
because, I don't know. As I said, I don't know those games. I've never played them.
Okay.
I
Fair
think
enough.
I think I
Fair
think
enough.
that.
If you never played, you can't actually. Sorry,
So
I
so
assume
can I
too
evade
much.
the question then? Um,
Sure, I presume too much. You're right.
yeah. No, but
I presume too much.
if Mutant Hero Zero has the same mechanics as, let's say, Vazen, which I've read,
Yes.
if it has the same mechanics, I think those are also very good mechanics, very simple to learn and not that difficult. That was my aim, to make it to design a game that someone, let's say, a 50-year-old guy with absolutely no time to learn a new system could learn it in a single read. I have no idea if that is better or worse than Mutant Year Zero or not. But that was my goal, to make a simple game, and I
Mhm.
think I succeeded at that. The game is very simple to learn and to play and to master as well.
Well, it seemed actually very simple and not too simple, because I think you have good nuances in your mechanics that allow some extrapolations, some permutations. So it leaves room if the game master wants to hack it somehow,
Mhm.
or add a minus or plus or whatever. Regarding the setting, you already
Mhm.
told us aesthetically it differs, not so many rusty.
Mhm. Yeah.
What aesthetically does this differs from any similar setting post-apocalyptic games? What is the gist of your game? What defines it aesthetically? What makes it shine differently?
Well, the machines do. The machines are everywhere, and they are in the. As we speak, I'm writing a new free adventure that I plan on testing next weekend, and I'm introducing some aspects that were not in the free adventure, like cyber technology. And the cyber technology here is, well, it's rusty because this is a post-apocalyptic game, and it closely resembles what we've seen in the recent Mad Max movie. But there's also something else that is, I don't think that is anywhere else, which is the artificial intelligence. And
Mhm.
that is prevalent, that is everywhere. Everywhere you go, you will find something reminiscent or actively artificial intelligence. And I think that's what separates this game from the others. This is a fear that we have nowadays, the fear of artificial intelligence. And I want to take that fear and put it to work to the benefit of the game. Not only
Mhm.
as a jump start of the game, but also to make it the core of the game. That's the name, Aitechnocene. That's the thing I think that separates it from other games.
Mhm.
It's not only that Western looks that you have of the deserts, but also when you get in the quick start adventure. I don't want to spoil it too much, but
Of course.
I think you've read it. But the central core, the core of the adventure and the final moral dilemma to solve is about artificial intelligence. So yeah, I think that's it. That's what separates it, and it's everywhere. You have a faction called appropriately the cultists, which revered artificial intelligence as a god. You'll find churches to the artificial intelligence. In the core book, there's also an adventure that's already written, where the Church of the Artificial Intelligence plays a central role. And yeah, I think that's it.
I think there's a funny positive aspect in it, like some kind of a mixture of hope and acceptance in it. Like it's everywhere. We can't just discard it. We have to accept it. We have to deal with it. Maybe it's not too bad. I think there's some it's not too pessimistic like other post-apocalyptic settings, other games. That's all messed up. All is lost now. We must rebuild everything because there's nothing at all. Bandits roam free. So you might have this, but you also have okay, maybe it's not too bad. Maybe we could do something with it. Maybe we just have to learn to live. But so there's some spark of hope and acceptance and what a redemption of sorts. It's I think it's there's something in it that isn't quite as explicit in other similar settings. So that I think it distinguishes Dawnfall from other games. I want to let people know not everyone is aware, but history is against PT-TTRPGs, as I call it. We have a couple of good examples. I think good examples in the way they were succeeded, but they're not quite exemplar in the way they're the common. One of them is, of course, Games Omnivorous. That is an amazing publisher, and but what they do art. Okay, they do artifacts that incidentally are TTRPGs. So if they weren't games, they would sell anyway, because there's an intrinsic value in what they do. So in that sense, they're not typical. They're not the typical lone TTRPG developer. They're not okay. But they're amazing as it is. It's not a criticism. I'm a fan, of course. It's not, but they do not represent the lonely TTRPG developer. The other one is way more controversial. Is the Red Room, because in a way it's a one-man army or a couple people army, but they kind of create a community around it, yes, they move a community by themselves, and people follow because they seem attracted to countercultural movement of sorts that they provide. Also, it's not the typical example. It's something that you can't plan to happen like this. You don't decide I'll create a community because I'm countercultural and I'll do defying games that shock people, and then people will love it and will be following everything I publish. You don't plan this. It just happens and you deal with it. And the Red Room dealt with it in their way. So what I'm saying is that this kind of lonely game developer is not succeeded. You don't have a history to back it up. So you're treading no waters. Do you feel it that you're doing something like me myself against the world? I already provide those two examples that I think they're exceptions, but way exceptional, not comparable. Do you think you're doing something new? I'm not saying the contents of the game, but the way you do. Are you aware of it?
I think that in Portugal, I might be the only one doing what I'm doing. But mainly because I don't know everyone. I know a lot of people in the Portuguese community. I don't know everyone, as I said, but I know a couple of designers. All of them are good friends. But the thing I'm doing, using the tools I'm using, I think that yes, I am the only one. I hope that I will set an example for other people to do as I do, and at the very least, make the jump to put their games on the table and available to others. I think the Portuguese community could grow exponentially. Yeah, I might sound like a self-help guru. I don't want to sound like one, but
I told you I won't spare you.
yeah, thank you very
I
much.
told you I won't spare you hard balls.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. But I've changed my habits since I started doing this. I don't know, 6 months to 1 year ago, I've started getting up an hour earlier to write and to play test and to create the pictures for the book, to research the tools, to see what was available for free. That's what I wanted to do. All the tools I use are free or were free at some point. Midjourney was free. It's not free anymore. I don't think it's free anymore. The habits I changed because of them. The getting up early, the giving an hour of my day just to write, just to sit down and write and play test stuff and throw ideas at the wall and see what sticks. I think, yes, that changed me. And I believe that you can't do this as a regular job. You have to have your job.
Sure.
As a joke that is
For
running.
now.
Yeah, for now. For now.
Let's try to change it.
Yes, let's. But as a joke that's
Yeah.
running around the RPG designers community, if you want to make a million with a role-playing game, you have to spend $1 billion. So,
It's something like that. And you're right. Since we're on it, how was the creative process using artificial intelligence to develop the text and the art of the game?
okay, those are two very different questions, and
Sure.
I have no idea what your audience's knowledge base is regarding the artificial intelligence, because that's a very narrow couple of words for a so much bigger thing that we have no idea what it's about. The two things, the two main tools I used, the ChatGPT and Leonardo AI, they are free and they are tools. They will never take away human creativity. ChatGPT enables me to pre-test stuff. I can think of a mechanic, or think of a faction, or think of a rule, or think of, or just to correct my grammar, or just to, I don't know, have a block of text that might only make sense in my head, and I throw it at the machine, and the machine gives me back something that is readable by a broader audience. That saves a lot of time. That not only saves a lot of time, that you can spend in other stuff, in other endeavors regarding your game, but also enables you to put your creativity in other areas. And also, you can ask it stuff. You can ask it stuff, and it will answer. Not only to play test stuff, but let's say I don't want to make a game, a post-apocalyptic game like Mad Max. So what can I do? I didn't ask this directly to ChatGPT, but the very first sentence of the book. I think you have it. Yes, there it is. Oh no, the other page. Yeah, the end came swiftly and unexpectedly, as all apocalypses do. This isn't mine. This is ChatGPT's. Okay. And I think it was such a good sentence to describe what the game is about, that paragraph, that I let it stand as it was. I think, as I've said, I don't think a machine will ever replace human creativity, but that was so cool that I had to let it stand as it was. So that were the main uses I had for ChatGPT. So to help me play test mechanics, to help me get with menial jobs, menial tasks that I would spend huge amounts of time that I simply don't have, to write blocks of text. For example, I have a huge list of perks. Perks are the things that define your character. And I had I had ideas for like 10, 20 perks, different perks, and I fed them to the machine, and the machine returned them in a much more leaner and cleaner way, and that was really,
Like
really
this
helpful.
scavenger and trained medicine is like a
Yeah,
specialization of sorts.
yeah,
Combat
yeah.
training,
You can
survivalist.
say,
I think
you
yeah.
yeah, you can call it that. As you can
Hmm.
see from these are the character sheets for these are the pre-generated character sheets for the quick start edition of the game.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
these
Sure.
are smaller. The fuller game, the core book, will have a much larger character sheet with
Hmm.
a huge set of skills and a huge space for you to put your perks. And perks, you can call it like that. You can call it a specialization. But
Okay.
because I'm drifting a bit, if you don't mind. Perks are like they work in two ways: in a mechanical way, where they give you a bonus, like you can see on a character sheet, and also in a narrative way.
So
In a
it
narrative
can
way,
give you a tag of sorts of your role in the group,
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
I felt
So
like it.
for example, you don't have a strength stat for the character, but you can buy a strength perk, and that will make you stronger than everyone else.
Okay, okay. It's like binary, or you have it or you don't.
Exactly
Like
so.
you
Yeah.
know this hero above Jackson Gunslinger Blackwood.
Hmm.
He has combat training, so
Hmm.
he fights better than everyone else. Is the
Yeah,
you
he
know
does, because
the sure.
his faction is the mercenaries, which
Hmm.
are the gunslingers of the game. So he has to be a better fighter than everyone else.
But what were the main challenges? What was the difficulties? Because you didn't just got to all the benefits. It's a different approach. So do you have, or unless you tell me that there wasn't any challenge using AI, I don't know. I'm not as skillful as you regarding AI.
No, there are challenges. I think the main challenge right now is one of ethics, um, because the AI is seen as taking away jobs from people. That is the main difficulty that I'm going through right now. I started using Midjourney because it was free, and you
Hmm.
just write what you want to see, and it gives you an image, and then you can play around with it, change it a bit. But that image, for it to appear on your computer screen, uh, it's made of tiny particles of thousands of other pictures taken from the internet, and they were in 100%, they were taken without authorization by the artists. So that's the my main gripe at the moment.
Is this really a specific concern of yours of that arose during this process? The
Yes,
that
it is. It is. I didn't have it when I started working on the game, but it has come to my attention, and right now I'm paying it close attention to the apps that are now the most popular, as well as the ones that are right around the corner. So I think that Midjourney is still using art taken without authorization. But I think that, for example, Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop uses Adobe Firefly, which has its own set of image. So I don't think that those images are used without permit. And I'm thinking of
I don't think
using.
as well, because they have a bank of images
Yeah,
that
exactly.
I subscribe Adobe, so I
Okay.
use for a lot of content, even especially in design, Illustrator.
Yeah.
I'm not an artist myself, but I try to do the layout thing and whatever. So I have this package, this student package, and of course I have Photoshop, and I noticed this update that brings AI. But
Yep.
since they have Adobe stock that provides a lot of images, I do not think Adobe has any need to
Yeah,
search
exactly
the
so.
internet for
Exactly
images,
so.
because
Yeah.
they have a huge bank of images. They might be more limited, but at least they're legit. But because they
Exactly.
paid someone
Mm-hmm.
to give them those images, and now they allow subscribers
Yeah.
like myself to use it
Yep.
if they
Yep.
will.
Yep. And I think that Google has an art application as well. I don't know if it's out already, but I've read about it today. And I think that also has its own image bank to train the databases, the data sets. I'm not sure about this. So no idea, but I'm looking into it, and the images that are in the book are from Midjourney, are from Leonardo, are from Bing Image Creator, and they are from a fourth app that I forgot the name. So sorry. So as I've said, I had the opportunity to say this. If the art I use is proven to be taken from someone else, then I will apologize and I will take it down, and I will get it another, or just put a block of text where the image used to be. Hopefully, that will not happen with the cover of the book, because I like it very much.
One thing that you said that really piqued my interest was regarding, you said, "Oh, AI will never take human
Yeah.
jobs." So let's talk about it, Mr. Anselmo.
Okay.
How did you
Sure.
ensure that human contribution still plays a crucial role in creation despite using AI?
One of the things that I've seen is that more and more artists are using art-related AI applications to enhance their art, because that's one thing that you can use artificial intelligence, is to spark your own creativity. You can use it to throw ideas at you, to test your ideas, to test a different technique, to test a different idea, and you can. There are so many more applications right now that you can start drawing, and it gives you in real time a piece of art. And I've seen it in an application called Crea, which is Krea. That a guy that only draws stick figures like me can make wonderful art. And I've seen a video that they put a real artist or real guy that's paid to do art using Crea, and the results were mind blowing. There's that.
It's like this, Crea, like
Yeah,
this.
exactly like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that it's something that while the start was not the best, because let's face it, it's taking human creativity and using it inappropriately. You will remember, of course, the pictures of the Pope with that
Roughing.
white. Yeah, exactly. That was Midjourney, I believe, and that was because of pictures like that Midjourney stopped being free because people were abusing it. So for me, the problem are not the apps, but the people, um, which which is true for any piece of technology that you use. I can drive my car everywhere, but if I'm drunk and I run over some people, it's not the problem with the car; it's a problem with me.
So what do you think it's the ideal balance between human creativity, and automation? Because you seem to say that there's a sweet spot somewhere.
Well, first of all, I think that the AI is here to stay. In 5 years now,
Mhm.
I don't believe that we will not see anything that hasn't been touched in any way by AI. So it's here to stay. Just have to accept it. Um, as soon as you have regulations to say what you can and you can't do, what you can and cannot use, I think that things will improve for everyone. Uh, I believe that artists will still be on demand, and I believe that they will be higher paid than they are now because they will be seen as true artists instead of one that has used an app for it. But mind, I've seen that I've seen things that are really creative. But the difference is you are putting words on a screen and getting art. It's not the same as grabbing a pencil and making a drawing. It's really not the same. The end result might fool the eye, but it's not the same thing. This is what I want to make clear about my usage of AI in the game.
Let's talk about that pencil of yours. Let's see this pencil working,
Okay.
because you did this, and
The world has died. Reshaped by artificial intelligence. Explore. Survive. Adapt. Diceless mechanics for immersive storytelling. Describe your action. If it's aligned with your passions, you get an advantage. Spend points from your effort pool, up to the rank of the skill you used. If you have more points, you get what you want. If not, something bad happens, but you might still get what you want. The Aitechnocene comes alive at your table with Dawnfall, a post-apocalyptic tabletop role-playing game. Support Dawnfall Aitechnocene on Gamefound.
I haven't seen that in a while.
I think this is one of your greatest assets, actually, in this campaign.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I was avoiding to give my opinion because I want you to. It's not all that good in some instances, but I have to agree with you in some ways. You did a really nice job with this
Thank you very much.
teaser. No, at least the idea of having a teaser
Mm-hmm.
for promoting your game and having a quick start edition. I think it's good practice, independently if you did it with AI or not.
Mm-hmm.
The strategy is solid, is good. You're showing what the game is all about, and then you give them something to taste the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is how the game seems. But now you can have this, this quick start edition. You play it. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't like it,
Mm-hmm.
you don't support me. But if you enjoy it, please do. Um, it's because you were telling about having a pencil and draw something. So you did you required an assistance doing this teaser, and it's funny because it not only shows graphics that you used in your game, but it also shows people playing your game
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
using the tokens and the character sheets.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I did there was putting it all together. It's like going to IKEA and buying the stuff separately and then getting home and assembling it with the instructions that sometimes are correct. Nothing that you see there, well, nothing besides me having putting it all together was done by me. Everything in the teaser video is AI. The music is AI, the voiceover is AI, the text for the voiceover is AI, the images are all AI. And it was done, I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the tool, but it comes for free with your computer. It's a Microsoft tool. I forgot the name. It's not something that I don't want to say, but I really forgot about it.
That's okay.
It was everything was done with AI. I know that you also work in video and music. I'm not trying to take your jobs. I've looked at it several times and I've seen things that, oh my God, this is so bad. Hopefully people will not notice it. And that's why I put some images on top of other images to cover it.
And you did well. You did well.
Thank you.
My preferred part is when people have those tokens in hands and you see the
Yeah.
character sheets, so you feel like you're in the playing and you're playing, actually playing, and you see the tokens, so you see the flow of the game in that image. I think it's the best part.
Thank you.
Of it, because it's where you show how it is played, actually, and you explain the bonuses that you get when you trigger them.
Yeah.
Regarding community acceptance, how has the game community responded to the use of AI in this game's development?
Well, the ones that are against it are not afraid to say so.
But there's been any significant or surprising reactions?
Let me put it this way. The game is 42% funded in the campaign. The people that have put their money there have not said anything on the Gamefound campaign page. They don't have to, of course. They will speak if they want. But the people that will not in any way put any money there are not afraid to say so. That was not a surprise. I was expecting some resistance because I know how ART and its usage is still seen. AI in the design process, because as we said on the beginning of the interview, AI is a much broader field than just the writing and the art. And I had a friendly conversation with the Portuguese artist about it. And I have no idea if my point was made across or not, but it's online, so you can go read it if you want to. And I acknowledge that the apps that I use have the data sets are trained using the artist's work without permission. I acknowledge that, and I acknowledge that I had no idea how that worked. But as of now, I've learned about it, and as I said before, I'm looking at other apps that use their own data sets, and I plan on using them further in the future. And that was it. That was an eye opener for me. That conversation.
So looking for other apps that would avoid violating some legal rights, some ownership, So that was at least the way you're dealing with criticism related to these moral dilemmas.
Well, yes, because my budget for the game was 0. So I had to find apps that were free and software that was free. So the software that I used for the page layouts is Scribus or Scribus. I have no idea how to say it, which is layout program that is free. It's available for free. It's a pain to use and to learn how to use some things that I use on the book, like tables, are impossible to do. You have to use other apps and then import the results into the document. But my main goal was to use free apps because of my budget was 0. Well, not exactly 0, because I'm using paid Facebook ads to reach a broader audience. So that's mainly it.
I think it's kind of negligible compared to what you would spend regarding the overall production of the game. So it pays off actually, because saving a lot of money if you would contract a lot of people to do all the work you do by yourself. I think it's harder to do the advertising part is way harder. You don't have
Exactly. Yeah.
you don't have as many tools you don't have as many resources to do it by yourself.
No,
You can't. You even if you share a lot in social pages, there's no way it can get any way near to a paid advertise, of course.
Yeah,
And so of course it pays off. Everyone does it, even bigger companies than yourself that have a huge database, they still use paid advertisement.
Yeah, they do. That's one thing I had to learn also. It was also a pain to learn to do the marketing aspect of it, and answering emails and replying to comments on the page, and talking to people, and thinking of updates to do, and reviewing the book and getting more images for the book. That's a lot of hats to wear. That's an expression that I've learned this past week. But that's basically what I'm doing right now. Not only designing a game, but publicizing it, testing it, laying it on a book, figuring out what works and what doesn't, making the video. It's a
many
ton of work.
different skills. It's a huge and a very, very wide skill set.
It is.
Only people who put in their minds writing RPGs know that the writing part is not actually the hardest part. Of course, it's more important since it's the bulk of the game, but it's not near anywhere the hardest part. It's way harder to a lot of things that you have to cover, because when you do an RPG, you know at least how to write. So it's your voice in the game. So it's the thing that becomes natural to you. But when you have to cover all other skill sets, unless you're an artist, you're underpowered regarding other stuff you have to do in order to promote your game.
Sure, exactly so.
To get it done. Regarding the narrative and gameplay, how did the AI influence the narrative of gameplay of Dawnfall, Aitechnocene? Were there moments when AI made unexpected decisions that significantly impacted the game, the way it plays?
Yes. There, when I was thinking about the factions to use in the game, I asked ChatGPT to give me some ideas, and one of the ideas was to include the enslavers. Since Dawnfall is a post-apocalyptic game, it made sense to include a faction that enslaved people. Well, of course, as everyone else, I'm against it. And ChatGPT was against it as well, because when I was developing the faction, I was writing and thinking of what skills, mechanically speaking, what skills they could give a bonus to, what perks would be appropriate to use in the faction. And I asked ChatGPT, and ChatGPT said, "I don't endorse the enslavement of other people." And he stopped writing. And I asked again, "What are you talking about, you MF? It was your idea to put them in the game." and, and I insisted, and he again replied, "No. As an artificial intelligence, I'm against the enslavement of other people." And I insisted, and I called him a hypocrite. Then it was only at the third time that he gave me what I wanted. But I also used it to write because I had an idea. I didn't know how to put it. I used it to write the single warning I have in the game. I don't have a warning of this is an old game. I don't have a warning of this is rule 0 or the golden rule. But I have a warning of if you want to play an enslaver, please do so. But understand that no one expects people to be enslaved anywhere. We don't condone the enslavement or the violence, physical or otherwise, against other people. So that's the only warning I have in the game.
Yeah, we will come to a time where we have to remind people they're just playing a game. But if you say so in a game, I think it's kind of infantilizing people. But we live in a time where if you don't share a fair warning, they will assume that you endorse slavery or whatever. And so I understand your position. You didn't want to sound too patronizing, but at the same time you try to safeguard yourself with some content warning.
Yeah, well, because one of let me just say this, one of the other factions are the mutants. Because this is a post-apocalyptic game after the end of the world because of the nuclear bombs, you get lots of radiation. So there are some areas in the game world that are off limits to all living species. I've used that to say that the AI uses it as a source of power. So that latent radiation in some areas is a cesspool of AI activity. But I didn't feel the need to put a warning to people to not use radiation in real life, because I thought that people would know better.
Yes, give people 5 years, and then we'll try to do another game, and maybe you have to warn them about the bad effects of radiation, because there are warnings about microwaves, not putting cats into it, because it seems that people find it was a good idea to start with,
and not drinking battery fuel, battery liquid.
So we're talking about reading the book and reading the warnings, but I wanted to know about playing it and impact on role playing. So you have been done this testing and this play testing, and I've even see one of your tables not having the as yet the opportunity to enjoy it with you your game at your table. Though I do read the game. I haven't tested because I didn't have the time, but I read it extensively, and I was always curious about how does the presence of the people when playing and knowing that is AI or even in the setting, because there's like a breaking in the fourth wall. This was done this was done by AI. The game is about AI. And how does it affect the role-playing experience of the game? Do players feel that AI enhances or limits creative freedom? Do they think it's more immersive because it was actually written and produced with AI?
You know something from what I've seen on playtests? I think I've done some 10 or so playtests of it, and people don't notice it at all, because at the end of the day, it's just a role-playing game.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
regardless of who's done it, regardless of who's game mastering it, at the end of the day, it's just a role-playing game. So people want to be entertained. People want to have a good time.
So not one single of them said, "Ew, this is AI. Ew, oh, this is
what
this
after
sucks."
playing? No.
Yes.
No, none of them. I did have one player that I believe you also know, Tiago Loureiro, who went to my table just because the game was written with the help of ChatGPT. He wanted to see how I done it, and I'm not lying to you. He said he loved it.
Even by the sake of curiosity, he came to you to test it.
Yes.
And maybe he wasn't prepared for how amusing it could be, because maybe wasn't expecting anything. So he did enjoy it.
Yeah, he did. There are some things that are different in the game, mainly it being diceless, more than it being made with the help of AI. That is something that people notice the more, the diceless aspect of the game instead of the aid of the AI.
But the diceless aspect was a choice of yours, not ChatGPT's.
Yes, it was. The mechanics are all mine. The basic ideas of the game are all mine. Well, the basic and the major ideas of the game are all mine.
That's important to show people here. Despite you typing and asking stuff from ChatGPT, he gave you meat to the bones that you established, right? So
exactly.
At least that's the feel I get when I read your text. That no, he has this some hard decisions. This is the core of the game, but ChatGPT provided the meat to fill in, like these texts, descriptions, whatever that would speed up, of course, the production. But the main idea, the mechanics, I have. It's hard for me to believe that ChatGPT would come up with diceless mechanics. Actually,
no, he didn't.
So, sure.
No, he didn't. I did ask for diceless mechanics, but I was never happy with the results, so I came up with my own. I have to say that I'm not completely happy with it, but it's as good as I can make them right now. They might change in the future. I will not design another game that is not diceless, I think. And they will use a variation of the system I have right now, which I love, and I think it's very, very good. It puts tension at the table when you are playing, and
because you must choose, even if you have to choose resources, it's all in you.
Exactly. It's all.
I mean, you the player. So I mean, the player.
It's always about the players. That's how a game should be played. Always about the players. I love exploration games. I love going around and finding out where the princess is being held by the dragon and slaying the dragon. Of course, I do. But for me, role playing should be about drama, not melodrama. It can be melodramatic as well, but it should be about drama, and it should be about tension. It should be about playing with other people and not always agreeing. Just because you met at the tavern, it doesn't mean that you are instantly friends with them. You can disagree with the people at the table and still have a good time.
Sure.
And that's what I'm aiming with the game and the system, for example. But there are the passions mechanics in the game, and the way that passions are designed is that if you choose them, you will almost always be opposed to someone else at the table. And if you choose them right, you will always be opposed to yourself, because your goal might not be your motivation, your relationship might not be your goal, and your flaw might be opposed to your relationship, for example. And that's a cool thing to do, to choose between one thing or another, because both will be beneficial to you. Both will give you a bonus to an action, or allow to recover spent effort points, or whatever. Both will give you mechanical advantage. It's your choice to choose what is better for you, and then the game fiction will reflect that, and the other player will react accordingly, and the game master will react accordingly, and everything will go on. That English game, while you are on top of a hill and someone throws a cheese down a hill and you have to run downhill and people sometimes fall over. I think that's what you will get when playing Downfall. Well, of course, not chasing a cheese down a hill. That was a metaphor.
Sure.
But the idea of things will get progressively interesting.
About the future of AI interaction with RPGs. So, considering the experience with Dawnfall Aitechnocene, how do you see the role of AI in future of TTRPG design? And in the same sentence or in the same development, what? So, how do you see the role and the ethical boundaries that you think should be established, if at all?
Well, the second question is not for me. I'm so sorry.
Okay, sure.
But the first
I'm
one,
disappointed.
yeah, I'm so sorry. Well, for the first one, it
Sure.
allowed us a single guy to make a complete RPG. I have no idea how many RPGs in my life. They were very small, playable in a single session. Move over to the next one, and this is the first one that I get to feel that is, well, not a real RPG, but a more complete, a fuller RPG that you can
Is
read
at
for.
least bigger because
Yeah,
I
at
know
least
your
bigger.
previous games. It's at
Yeah,
least it's bigger. I'm not
at
saying
least,
it's better, but it's bigger.
yeah, at
I'll
least it
give you
is.
that.
So it AI allowed me, a guy with no skills in art, no skills in layout, and no skills in video editing, in composing, to not only make a full game, but also make the advertising for it, and the video teaser for it. So I believe it will be a very important tool in the future if people are able to surpass the bad image that the usage of AI art has given the AI. As for rules and regulations, I think that the companies that are developing the applications, ChatGPT and Midjourney, and the new one with Google, I believe that those companies are looking into the ethical aspects of it, and I believe we will have in the near future apps that you can use commercially, perhaps paying for them, not just free. That will be, I don't think I can say ethics free, but somewhat, uh,
Manageable.
yeah.
Ethically manageable. I think. Well, I don't. If the companies don't get the money all to
Hmm.
themselves, but somehow
Hmm.
pay a percentage
Hmm.
of sorts to the source where the
Yeah,
material came from.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, the artists where it copied from. If there's
Hmm.
some kind of normalization or
Hmm.
rules about it, I
Hmm.
don't know. I'm no lawyer by myself, but I think it could be a start of something,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
something
Sure,
at
sure,
least
sure.
sustainable for
Yeah,
everyone.
Sure, sure. And I think that not only artists should be compensated for their losses, but they should also change their mindset and accept that AI can be a tool instead of a competition
Mhm.
for everything. I don't see people at the operation table denying AI over surgeon. You know, I don't see people denying the AI that is running the traffic signs. I don't see people denying the cell phones that everyone uses at the moment, which
Mhm.
already have AI, as simple as it is, and intuitive responses that your text can give you when you are texting messages and in WhatsApp. You have text
And I
prediction.
and I think it's actually way more intrusive
Yeah.
than AI.
Okay.
Because I actually sometimes I'm, I'm writing and it
Okay.
presumes too much
Yeah.
and it changes a lot from my intent. It's really annoying.
Well, ChatGPT
Yeah.
is that, but on steroids. It's
Well,
not.
at least
It
you choose to
Sure,
at
sure, of
least
course.
you choose to ask from
Hmm.
something from ChatGPT. But you know,
Hmm.
the text messaging it presumes that you want to use it, but it's not like quite easy to disable. I don't know how to disable the AI in the messages, but
Well, me neither.
I think there must be. I hope there's a way to disable it. But at least ChatGPT, you choose to go there and ask it
Yeah.
something. Before wrapping up, we would like to I like to consider
Oh,
this shameless self promotion plug. So let's advertise a bit of your campaign. Tell us about what the people get and why it is a good idea to back it.
so first of all, by backing this up, you have an awesome game, a very different game with cool mechanics and a cool setting. At the moment, the 15 euro mark will set you back, but will also give you close to 200 pages of content, of character generation, of also world generation, because I have a ton of ideas there that are my own, but that you can adapt and use as you see fit. And well, you should do it. You can spend the 15 euros for the main PDF, but also 25 euros for the art book, which will be just as a book with a collection of arts and with a story. I'm writing the story for the for the book, and you can buy. You can pledge, sorry, on the full book for 50 euros, and you get the PDF as well. Or if you want to, you can give as much as you'd like, because as you can see on the bottom, show your support. You can give whatever you want. Yes, do it, please do it now.
So and sometimes you already unlock Solitude's resilience. So this is what
That
this is
is
an
the
adventure.
no, that's the solo play rules. uh
Oh, okay. This is a game mode. Okay, okay,
yeah, it
cool.
is. Shadows Unveiled it is the free adventure that I'm finishing up right now, and
Mm-hmm.
that is in an enslaver's fortress that has there has been an attack by raiders, and the commander Victor Stratus has been slain in combat. So there's a power vacuum ready to be filled. So the adventure starts there. But Solitude's Resilience is the solo play mode. You have I think there are 15 or 16 cards. I don't remember. Those cards work like the Oracle that you can see on other solo games.
So, and tell me, this just a bit about this too. Shadows and Veil, does it connect anyway to the adventure that comes up in the quick start edition, or it's not really connected, but you could
No,
you could work around it? So
it's not connected at all. It's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
The one in the core book, sorry, the one in the quick start edition is about finding a resource and knowing what to do with it. And also there's another dilemma to solve. But Shadows and Veil is about politics, and it's about treachery, and it's about it's about the more reviled faction in the game. It's about the enslavers, and you will not play an enslaver in that adventure, but you will deal closely with them.
So it's another focus. Solitude's resilience is just it has an adventure, or it just rules regarding that teach you how to
just rules.
Rules. Okay. Because it has this interesting title, and it could be actually a name of an adventure focused on survival or whatever.
That would be cool.
A lonely survival. Okay, so this is okay, and then but people can, clicking here, they get the rules and the effort counters that we have seen in the video. People using the effort counters. So people, if I click here, do I get it? Do I get the quick start? Yes, I do. I don't see if no, it doesn't display here, but it jumps to another window where you can download this same file that I was showing here.
Exactly. Yeah.
So people can start playing right away.
Exactly.
Okay. So as of now, you have 42% funded.
42%. Exactly. Yes.
So you have almost 1 month to go. So people, if you want a different game, you have the opportunity here to make history and help a lonely Portuguese TTRPG designer that doesn't bring food to his table during this campaign. You would be change history of Portugal TTRPG design, helping this guy bringing his own game to become a reality, actually printing it. So I'll leave this link in the comments so people can follow it. As of now, you still have almost 1 month to go to support Dawnfall, Aitechnocene. So, Anselmo, thank you for being here and
thank you very much for having me.
Along this opportunity to do this funny interview and showing your aspect of the game and discussing these controversial themes in a constructive way. I think people should have insight, even if they don't disagree or don't support what you do, of course, so they're free to do, but at least trying to have a positive conversation about it. And for the good or the bad, AI is here to stay.
Yes, it is. And thank you for having me. Hopefully you have more guests to your channel. So
well, I can spend 1,000 euro for each one. I'll have to recover from I'll have to recover from that first. It will take me the rest of the year to recover from it.
Okay.
I hope I had that money to support it right away, of course, but I don't have it. Okay, so Rui Anselmo, thank you for being here.
Thank you very much for having me, my friend.
Thank you guys watching here this video. even if it is in broken English. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.